Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here, once again. Right, read the title of the video. Top 5 Atlus games. This is in response to someone who commented on one of my videos called Alpha, who asked quite politely, what are your top 5 Atlus games? And I just decided to respond to him with like a bunch of snark because I thought it was funny. And it got me thinking, you know what? I haven't done like a to-camera video in a while, so that's easy. Top 5 Atlus games. Let's go on with it. So obviously before I get into it, I want to ramble a little bit because that's what I do. A lot of us kind of know Atlus these days as like a Sega subsidiary. I'm very happy the fact that Sega bought Atlus. I think both companies have benefited a whole lot from the merger. Obviously Atlus are actually translating all of Sega's games right now, and on the Atlus side, you guys, like a lot of people, even I forget this sometimes, right? Atlus never published a single game in Europe before they were published, before they were bought by Sega. They got other companies to publish other games, and so I have this weird relationship with the company, in the post-Sega era, because they were just like such a sought-after company that made these apparently really cool Japanese role-playing games that I would have been really into, but it was so hard to get a lot of them because they never published stuff over here. Thankfully those days are now behind us and we can look forward to the latest Atlus games here in Europe on the same day as America probably. But in any case, here are my top 5. Oh yeah, one other thing, because I wanted to rant about this as well. Another thing about Atlus that I should point out is that a type of RPG that I personally can't really get into and kind of don't like playing? It's the type of RPG that I kind of describe like Pokemon. The RPGs where you build your own party members, and it can be as like variable as you want. Pokemon's a good example. And what are two other good examples? Mainline Shin Megami Tensei games and Etrian Odyssey. Like, Etrian Odyssey is like the series that I love to collect for but never ever play. Like, I own like every Etrian Odyssey game, never play them because I don't like making my own parties in those sort of games. It's just like a weird thing that I have, and hopefully I can get past that one day. But you're not going to see any games like that in this list. Case in point, let's start off. First of all, an honourable mention actually. Catherine Full Body here. This didn't make the list because I played it on the PS3 back in the day, and I enjoyed it well enough. And I enjoyed it enough to want to pick up this version, but I didn't even really finish it, and I couldn't be arsed finishing it, so I was just like, yeah, so even with all the new content and stuff, but a good game for sure, I enjoy it enough. But my actual number 5, to start this off, now this is a series actually that I keep forgetting exists and actually belongs to Atlus, because it leads me down the line of why are they not doing anything with it. Trauma Center Second Opinion. Now, probably one of the reasons I keep forgetting about it is that this is the only game in the series that I ever played. I didn't play any of them on the DS. There's Trauma Center New Blood, which I also have on the Wii, never played it. And then there was Trauma Center, Trauma Team rather, on the Wii, which didn't come out here in Europe because of Atlus stuff. In fact, that's another good point. This was like a launch title on the Wii in America. Not over here. We had to wait like more than a year to get it. I can't remember the exact date, but we had to wait a while for this. But yeah, really good. Like, you play as a fucking sergeant. What more is there to say? And it's a sort of visual novel style game, and playing with the Wii remote and the nunchuck. I just remember being like super into it. I haven't played it in so long, over 10 years I think, fucking hell. But I remember it quite vividly, and I remember thinking, really good game. So yeah, that's my number 5, Trauma Center Second Opinion. Now, my number 4, this will probably make me popular amongst all of the Atlus fanboys, the more traditional Atlus fanboys. Yeah, this is my 4th favourite Atlus game. It's really good. It is really, really good. It does so much that pisses me off, okay? And I've talked about that before. but it's a damn fine RPG, okay? Like, all of the weebness aside, it does what it sets out to do extremely well. And I remember a lot of it, and I enjoyed a lot of it. So much so that I even picked up this, which, you know, I've not even played yet, because I have a habit of buying, like, upgraded versions of games and just never fucking playing them. It's a curse, really. But, yeah, I can't really talk about Tokyo Mirage Sessions without bringing up, like, the, you know, the censorship stuff. And actually I can, because it always annoys me when people talk about it, because it completely overshadows how good the game is itself, okay? If you've never played this game before, and you can get behind the fact that you're not seeing as much, like, anime titty in this version as you would have on the Wii U version in Japan, and you just want a good RPG, give it a go. Give it a go. Slightly less anime titty, but give it a go. It's good. I promise you, it's a good game. Over here. Okay. So, number 3 is actually a pair of games, because you might as well count them as one game, really. Earlier I was moaning about how when it comes to Shin Megami Tensei, I don't like that system where you make your own party. To be fair, in Shin Megami Tensei, it's a little bit better because you at least have your, like, own character that you can focus on, and your demons that you recruit are kind of secondary. But they did make at least one game where that rule wasn't in effect, and it was just traditional turn-based RPG. That's the Digital Devil Saga games, okay? 1 and 2, they take place immediately after each other. 2 is probably the better game. It's got like a few different gameplay improvements. I remember the story being way more like out there and intriguing in the first one. You know, I don't know, but it's damn good. You know, the style of an Atlus game is like perfectly represented here, you know. A lot of people, they hear Atlus and they think something like Persona. They think something like Tokyo Mirage Sessions where it's high school and weeb as fuck. That's not really the case. This sort of style is what Atlus is all about. You know, a way darker, more depressing take on JRPGs. And that's one of the things people really appreciate about them, you know. And yeah, very happy to have played both of these. So, oh, actually, looking at that on camera, you can see it's meant to be back to back like that. Cool. Anyway, Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2. Okay, so as like I was sort of like taking the piss out of the alpha for in the comments, you know, Atlus are kind of just known for being the Persona guys these days, you know, which is unfortunate because they do make other stuff. But number 2 in my list is a Persona game. I'm only going to pick one Persona game, incidentally. But that game is 5. Yeah, it's this is my favorite one. I know that like there are 5 Persona games, but I love like the joke of, oh, it's a trilogy. There's only 3, 4, and 5. You know, there are only 3 Persona games, and I get why it has that sort of reputation, because Persona 3 really took things in a different direction compared to the first 2 games. I've not even played the first 2 games, but I know enough about them to know that, yeah, they did do a lot of things differently, and that's where the fan base kind of like comes in. That's why most fans only really care about 3, 4, and 5. And yeah, I've played 3, 4, and 5. They're all good games, but this one is without a doubt my favourite. I haven't played Royal yet. I'm kind of learning my lesson from like Catherine and Tokyo Mirage Sessions. You know, Atlus, they love to. Okay, not just Atlus. I did buy Dragon Quest 11 on the Switch as well. I'm trying to learn my lesson about buying all of these upgraded ports of games and never playing them, right? So when it comes to Persona 5R, I probably would like to play it, but you know what? Switch, PC, at least give me a different way to experience it, Atlus. In fact, the whole Persona 5 on the Switch thing is a weird thing. I don't know if anybody's been keeping up with it, but go look into it. It's weird how Atlus are handling it. But whatever. Number 2, Persona 5. And my number 1 Atlus game, right, is actually a game that's not even really made by Atlus. They published it, I guess. But the developer is kind of, I don't want to say honorary Atlus, but they work with them so frequently. And that is Odin Sphere. I can't say the subtitle, but holy shit, I adore this fucking game, guys. I remember I picked it up originally on a PSN during a sale, just completely off the cuff, because this is a remake of Odin Sphere on the PS2, which I do have here. But, fuck it. It's at the bottom. It's right there, but it's at the bottom. I can't be arsed getting it. But yeah, I never really popped that in and played it properly. But then this remake was coming, and I was like, alright, I guess I'll play the remake. And I completely fell in love with the combat system. I completely fell in love with like the characters in the game. They were all excellent. I didn't even mind technically playing through the game 5 times, which is sort of what you do in this game. Not really, but also kind of really. None of that really like fazed me. I was just so happy to be constantly playing it, experiencing the plot, and yeah, really getting into all 5 characters and their gameplay styles. This is my favourite Atlus game, Odin Sphere. Highly recommend it, and I really hope that VanillaWare's latest game, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, I believe it is, it's already out in Japan. I really hope we get that one as well. I'm waiting. Atlus, Sega, so yeah. That's that, guys, and yeah. Quarantine hair. Actually, I'm pretty sure my hair has been way worse than this before, but whatever. See you after. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.